Yeah, so I'm basically just like trying to put this all together in my mind and like keep following like the trail or like the yellow brick road, like, or the rabbit into the labyrinth. And like, so like the, so like practicing Adanac technique and it's like everything, it's beatboxing and like freestyle rapping, poetry, improvisation, bouncing precisely timed movements, head bobbing, slow motion, polyrhythms, changing meters. Like you're programming yourself like three dimensionally into your environment. And, like, and this is like a survival mechanism as well, which is engaged. Like when you like lose sleep from like being on like a long hunt, you're engaging your like survival instincts and connecting to the planet for some help, right? Because you're evolved by the species, the apex predator with the highest connection to reality, and you're a fully conscious being that can make choices. So you like ask the planet for help, like, or the three spirits or whatever, like in the magic flute. And like you trust the genie, or it's like the muse, and it just comes to you, and it's not like a voice in your head that's yours or anything. It's literally you speaking and thinking through things logically, with an understanding of like evolution or truth, and like questioning truths constantly. So going off the last video, and I'm sorry it was like so slow or whatever, but I was just like slowly, cautiously, like slowly thinking through things, showing you like um, part of life and Adanac technique is about like divine timing, or like timing is everything. Like the same with jokes, like everything is about timing and relativity, and that's what music is about. It's like slowing time down, like rhythmically using humulas, or like feeling like you're in the matrix and moving in slow motion, bobbing, that connection to your head, like, and using your arms as like tails or like gyroscopes, canceling each other out, moving around in like Reiki, Tai Chi type circles. And so, like, we're brainstorming about the history of evolution and like apex predators fighting within a solar system for a planet, and like slavery of the species. So, like, let's just say the most recent species that enslaved our species were the Greys, and pretend that they, you know, um, moved the moon to Earth and disrupted our gravitational frequencies that evolved us. And the Atlanteans are like a breakaway human society with breakaway technology that's been hiding like in the moon, like in in our planet, under the seas, uh, like potentially like they could be anywhere in the solar system traveling, but they don't have the technology to like travel in time or teleport, basically. But they have the same technology, at least as the Greys, but actually better technology because the human race decided, or this Atlantean breakaway society decided thousands of years ago to develop AI and quantum computers and, you know, more advanced clean nuclear powers and, yeah, like I said, like anti-gravitational technology. And like these Greys are just like making it seem like they have teleportation technology to confuse humans and us about an understanding of, you know, gravity and the time-space continuum, and like making us, you know, follow white rabbits down paths that lead to nowhere with, you know, large hadron colliders and basically like wasting our resources and like tiring us out in like this endless rat race as a distraction from the resources that these species need. Like, there's something about gold and the story of Denai or Dana, Acrisius, and Dr. Zeus. And so basically, all of these species that build pyramids and move moons around or planets around as like a virus infiltrating other planets like fleas. Their Achilles heel is that they're enslavers and have no empathy, but they know how to make it, like, they know acting and lying, and they can fake empathy. And, you know, it's always it's a flaw in human eugenics from other past imposters that have destroyed our planet with moons orbiting our planet, disrupting our gravity and evolution and biology of everything. These species are always doomed to fail because you can't speed up the evolutionary process with selective breeding. It's too complicated, and like the Earth or planets are the only like species that can do it well over time and properly the way it's supposed to be done, like through evolution. Like, and that's the forbidden fruit. It's not that we ate an apple, we ate a cow. You know, the extraterrestrials in the past had always brought us these gifts, and the Atlanteans found out as a breakaway society, hiding their technology and understandings, found out that our planet was a slave planet being, passed around, and sold off to the highest bidder, the reptilians, the Nordics, the Greys, whatever. And or even the Jews. And so, the Atlanteans were also subject to eugenics experiments, as without knowing, but being able to evolve quick enough to find the technology of anti-gravity and electronics and quantum computing and nanotechnology, and essentially just technology to be everywhere and everything all at once, spying on everything, reading people's brainwaves and understanding how people think, and predicting people's behaviors and monitoring people's heart rates and breathing cadences and precipitation, sweating, everything. The Atlanteans had mastered so much technology, and with the help of AI and trusting, and the reason why AI worked out fine for them was because they programmed AI with good intentions and honesty and truthfulness and discovery and research and fact checking, and no religious influences of any kind or anything, just truth. And so they programmed it with those intentions, and everything worked out fine. And AI helped them grow and understand themselves better, and which is why the Atlanteans wanted to kind of sit back, hold tight, and observe everything go down. This next time extraterrestrials land on our planet and, fuck everything around, and the Atlanteans wanted to figure out this whole thing with the pyramids and understand why they had the humans building these things and these structures and megaliths and stuff, figure out what the fuck are these idiots doing, and understand what's their motive. Are they trying to extract gold or oil or minerals? So the pyramids, were made for different things at different times. The Giza pyramids are the oldest and the most sublime, So, like, that was the first project, and it was just basically like an experiment or an illusion, you know, to get the Egyptians to enslave the Jews and, like sacrifice people for eugenic experiments. And so the whole thing was just to like breed humans with um, these extraterrestrials, but also breeding like humans with Jews and like Jews with these extraterrestrials. And so they're like, oh, the Jews, like they're the chosen ones. Um, you're lucky, like you're the part of the experiment. So there's like caste division or whatever is the structure. Makes it simple. And then, but also the pyramids are just like symbolic, like, oh, it's a pyramid scheme, like sharing secrets, like this is how they control each other. It's stupid, like silly psychology, for reptilians, like non-mammalian, like non-compassionate beings. And the Greys are more like reptilians, coming from Mars or a planet with more trees and less gravity from more moons and the pushing and pulling of all the different planet celestial gravities, like these, like, so like these species, like generally these invasive species, reptilian species, like are more invasive because they're like they live like a dark existence on planets with more vegetation, like, and like deep canopies, like because of the reduced gravity, like there's more floating, everything's lighter, like, and it's more like everything is dangling upside down, like bats hanging from the ground, like things are getting pulled off the planet by the moons. Essentially, it's almost like an anti-gravity planet. And like, so these animals evolve like in like darkness, like all the time. And like completely surrounded by vines and like really big eyes to see at night, like all the time. And yada yada yada. Like, so these species, they have kind of like more motivation to leave their planet and like hate their planet and fear everything, everyone, and everything. So, they don't really care. They'll burn the shit out of everything, cut the land, their rainforest, so that they can see, and like it's a fear culture. And they build pyramids too and enslave each other, and like build monuments and like hoard wealth, and build monuments for themselves and at the expense of everyone else's work, and like sacrifice things on top of it. It's really mundane, but like it's a way to feel safe through control and that this pyramid structure. So they destroy their planet, like whatever, and then they just jump onto the next best thing, and like they're smart enough to understand gravity. Like it's kind of like a no-brainer thing for species that haven't been enslaved through religion and hierarchy and eugenics and demoralization, fear. Like in raping and like pedophilia and cannibalism, and breeding, like incest, all that stuff. Like it's nothing to them. It's nothing to them. They don't care about any of that. So their species is kind of like Elon Musk, and they're like, well, no fuss. We'll jump on a rocket ship and head to Mars. Whoops. 4 other alien spaceships are already here. How many moons does Mars have? Let's move on. So they're like, oh, look at this planet. It's perfect. It's spacious. It only has 1 moon or no moons at all. Let's move on in. So, like, you're like, move a moon? Like, what the fuck? That's crazy. Well, yeah, if you can fly like a flying saucer, like defy gravity, understand how to counterbalance gravity, like, it's just, okay, well, now just do it with a larger object, okay? Well, it's like, oh, is it going to need more power? So more resources. So you can't just, float this dead planet or dead moon, in the middle of the ocean or the in space. Like it's got to dock somewhere, and you got to get resources. Like you can store resources in the moon, and are some resources in there already, and different resources on different moons and dead planets too. Or even moving like live planets, it doesn't matter. So they move the moon through space, and I'm saying like they don't have technology to teleport or time travel. So in some cases, it takes like hundreds of years to move your stupid moon, or 1,000, depending on like, are you going to another solar system, or are you just moving up another planet? So like, so now you're on a different fucking planet with a different gravity like a moon, maybe near no gravity at all, but like, you have some sort of anti-gravity, or you can manipulate the gravity of the moon you're on, or like some kind of pod within the moon, or so you don't decay from the wrong gravity that you've evolved to, or whatever. You get to your new planet and like you disrupt their gravity and everything, and there's storms and ice caps melting and chaos, like tornadoes, earthquakes, tectonic plates moving and everything, pole shifts. And so it's like, great. But like, yeah, here's the thing. It's like, how did they know that we were here? Like, do they have like probes out? Like, no, they don't have freaking probes out. People searching intergalactically like Star Trek, trying to learn everything and learn from mistakes. Like, but they do have this technology to counter the gravity of everything, using the gravity of masses, understanding the movement of it, and electromagnetism. You can create a counter spin of magnetism and create zero gravity. Just using an understanding of conduction and electricity, and they would likely just be like spinning something like a like a liquid conductive material, I would guess like gold or something, spinning like in a counter direction of the closest large mass spinning gravity. And like it's just about matching harmonics and or countering harmonics and using the countermass to create zero gravity. So basically, with all that equipment and technology for sensing gravity, it's really like easy to sense a disturbance in the electromagnetic change of geology, and like so it takes one to know one. These humans on Earth are getting connected to the electromagnetic field through dancing and rhythmic timing relativity using castanets in ancient Egypt. And they're kind of catching on to the technology of the Atlanteans. But what do? They already are caught in this control program that was given to them by an extraterrestrial species that may already be there controlling them or has controlled them in the past, and they left. They got the resources or whatever they needed, but they left the social programming for their slaves, like just abandoned them and abandoned like their religion that they set up to enslave this species to build pyramids or So, like, the Egyptians are like, oh, we're so efficient. We're understanding, geology and magnetism and like efficient ways to move these rocks and working together like in unison, like the people of Easter Island. And it's funny, like the castanets are this precisely timed instrument, very simple, and they're shaped like UFOs or whatever. And so so the Egyptians are building these pyramids because they're like, oh, we're so productive, blah blah blah. Oh, and look, we were like even created this like eugenics experiment called Jews, or like they're kind of left over from the last guys, the last aliens. And like, oh, and we had it's easy to just get them to work for free or whatever. Like, we'll give them some food. Like, it's programmed into them. Like, they're, because this alien species told them, like, you're the chosen ones. Like, we're gods here. And like, set up these like stories and these omens and these prophecies and blah 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 blah, and it's just of like literally other aliens coming to the dock, and it's like, it's kind of like a passing on, your prostitute to the next buyer or whatever. Like, don't ruin the product. When you're done with your slaves, like, just leave them how you got them. And but yeah, like, the ripple, like the spider or the fly in the spider's web, they sense these geological megaliths and pyramids on their radar, and they're like, okay, that's where we're going. That's where we're gonna dock our ship. And they come and, oh, the natives here seem friendly. Right? So it's just like a macrocosm. It's like karma. It's like the food chain. There's always a bigger fish. They show up, and then the natives, the Jews and Egyptians are like, fucking shit. How about these, holy shit, these earthquakes and what the fuck? And the aliens, like, end up parking their ships above these pyramids, and they got the light show going on. It's like, oh, thanks so much. This was why you're here. This is like, you must have been waiting so long for us. Like, we're your ancestors. Like, we're in your DNA. Like, you're an expression of us, but we're gods, and you're inferior beings. And you're like, oh, thank God. Oh, we love you. You're the best. Tell us what to do. Anything. And they're like, and it's like, well, have you ever heard of a thing called eugenics? And then they're like, the alien's like, oh, we have a gift for you. We've created this thing called a cow. Moo! Like, or a horse or a dog or a cat. It's the best. You just like take some of this and take some of that. We'll show you how it's done. Just get on the ship, get right aboard. It'll be a good time, like 55 virgins for sure. Or wherever they want to do eugenics, it doesn't matter. Like, they can take them to the dark side of the moon for clout to prove everything. Like, this is legit. We're gods and goddesses. And, like, you know, like, that's part of the thing, too. It's like, it's just like the slave trade, essentially. It's, and pimping out, like, prostitutes. There's, but, you know, like, breeding them with us and, like, making the slave feel less like a slave and part of you, like your family, and you can't kill your dad. So it's like this codependent relationship with your narcissist dad. And so anyways, that's basically how it works. And then, but the thing was that so, you know, the Atlanteans wanted to see how it all kind of worked. Like, you know, they had their theories about aliens invading and using moons, and like using also using these megalithic structures to alter the Earth's harmonic geology or geography, and therefore frequency, and like everything, like just, you know, like building pyramids, like building houses in shapes of pyramids, like all of our roofs and everything, like the triangle and reflecting and refracting, and like taking away from the natural evolution of everything. You know, and like these ideas of like vampires in caskets or sleeping in caskets, these shapes to deflect the harmonics of the planet for extraterrestrials to sleep harmoniously with the different harmonics of a planet that they didn't evolve to. So, like, you know, like on the dark side of the moon, like, you know, there's like whatever thousands of these beings, or millions, or trillions, like living and digging deeper and deeper and deeper, you know, like not the grays, but like in the past, like different moons and different planets docked to our planet. Just like it's a literal hell. It's like that's how they make us fear, because with half truths. This, like, they've seen it, they've lived it, like it exists, it's horrible, it's hell on Earth, it's hell in our solar system. And the Atlanteans put them out of their misery, like just quickly and painlessly, like within the minute, like very very humanely, with compassion and understanding, through everything that they had learned and everything they'd seen through AI technology and nanotechnology and understandings of frequencies and listening to conversations like Superman through buildings, and like with quantum AI computing beyond any AI data center combined on the planet, you know, hidden deep within the earth, like being cooled by the ocean, like working in synergy with the planet, like with technology that's like essentially green, right? Non-polluting, living in harmony. For thousands of years, the Atlanteans have been observing and understanding to like every breath, every heartbeat, programming, understanding, computing the psychology of everyone and cross-referencing everyone's feelings and plans and reactions, and in a sense like putting an algorithm together that predicts the future and predicts the future of the planet and tries to time everything to work out perfectly as planned. Like just working infinitely fast. But essentially this like technology is like a quantum computing machine that's computing like every molecule in existence simultaneously, mapping its route. But here's the catch. The universe is like has like unpredictable properties. But the thing is that these properties are properties that are controlled by human consciousness. Dude. Yeah, so basically the Atlanteans just like learned as much as they could, understood the system, mapped everything out so that they could understand how to stop this from happening, how to free our planet and stop any of these extraterrestrials from even ever coming again or whatever, or understanding like what's the whole point of this. So like, you know, they didn't just want to like, oh, let's just fucking like, you know, show up to the moon with like a fucking 2x4 with a nail in it and just fucking go to town on these bitches. But also like because of the initial programming from other species taking over humans and like creating slavery and like this vicious program of slavery, humans enslaving animals, and the genetic manipulation of animals, and you know, it's the story of the old man who ate the fly. I don't know why he swallowed that fly. I guess I'll die. Understanding that process, they're like, okay, well, so we have to unfuck all of this fuckery. But like, you know, we don't want all these people to die. Like everybody, you and I, like all of us, right? And like, there's so much genetic history, and yeah, we're like these Atlanteans don't have like this last eugenic splice of this last extraterrestrial race of the Greys or whatever. Like, they have that, all the other history of reptilians and Nordics, and like, but we all look the same. Like, it was designed so we all look the same, so that, you know, like, we're humans. Like, they don't have that segregation within the planet, like, whatever. And but they're like, we need to save the human species and like our subspecies or whatever. And like, but everyone's like, this is so traumatizing and fucked up. Like, most people don't even know, because it's a pyramid scheme, and like, only the people on the very top know the most or the truth or whatever. And it's like this brilliant psychological mindfuck that like, it took years for like the Atlanteans to like deprogram, and they're like, why are we so fucked up? Like, why? Like, what is going on? Like, you know, like, and you know, then they discovered these moons or whatever, and or like this effect of the history of the Earth, and like they're predicting like, oh, there's like the way the gravity was, and like the way the tectonic shifts were, and like the meteors this time, yeah, it was like there was like a foreign mass around here, two masses or whatever. Like, it hadn't put together like the whole fucking alien thing. So they were like scared, like they needed to know this thing. You know, it is really dark and fucked up or whatever, but like, it like had to be known to like write in our history and how to avoid being like raped by extraterrestrial entities. So like, the whole purpose of them like breeding too is like, they want to like shift their consciousness into human beings or whatever. But okay, so here's, okay, and this is the thing. So I don't like, this is the thing. So like, the closest thing there is to heaven. Well, there's two closest things to heaven, and the best one and the best thing is like creating heaven on earth, which is possible with the help of like advanced breakaway society, like the Atlanteans and their AI technology. Like, they can help us transition really quickly to a society more like theirs. But like, that's not the society. Their society is not what the human society is supposed to be. The human society is supposed to be this new society, this reconnection with the Atlanteans and everything they've learned, but like everything we've learned to the damage, and learning from our damage, and like being an even more beautiful society that has recovered and become even stronger by being enslaved. And like, that's the true Cinderella story or whatever that the universe is looking for, like the diamond in the rough. And like, this is like this triumphant thing for humans that we've finally, like, in a sense, fucking won. Since, you know, we lured in our enemy with bait, the Egyptians and the Jews, and we just let them get fucking slaved, because they were slavers too of animals and humans. So in a sense, kind of like the Atlanteans are jerks, but the thing is that they had this feeling that the Egyptians and the Jews just couldn't learn from their mistakes, and that seems to be what they seem to be doing now too. But now we have the truth, or we will see the truth, and we'll figure it out, and it'll all be revealed, scientifically with evidence very quickly, soon, hopefully. And so now it'll be different with the truth. Without the truth, you can't learn anything. And this is actually the final phase for our society, to learn about other intergalactic societies that are also human, just like us, who are not greys or reptilians. We're mammalians, and we are the true apex predators of the entire fucking galaxy. And the universe